So, oh wait, we need to just share the screen anyway. All right, if you're watching this video, we're going to be integrating GitHub and Ash Reactor and all that stuff. So keep watching the video. Don't leave. Like and subscribe and comment. I'm going to stop sharing my screen on Discord just because I can't do both. So if you want to watch what's going on, just join over here. Today, we're looking at the side of my head. Let's change the camera real quick. Customization. Okay, whatever. We're looking at the side of my head today. Entire screen. All right, cool. So let's get moving. What we have is Ash Swarm. The bill for the Swarm has been paid. So now we have deploys to Fly.io. Yeah, here we go. So this is the landing page for Ash Swarm. It looks really cool.
Do you have a link to the YouTube stream?
Oh, yeah. No problem. Thank you. Hide. Share. Okay. All right. Cool. There we go. So basically what we're doing is we have our Ash Swarm GitHub integration. What does that mean? Okay. So in GitHub, let's go to Ash Swarm. Okay, we're just going to go to
say I've done GitHub tests in my other repo. But yeah, I was pretty sure that you would be able to come up with something for Ash Swarms. And then the adaptive code evolution will be able to tap into that integration.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go through it real quick. So basically, and I'm going to assume that people don't know all of these parts. So we're going to go through all the parts and then we're going to get started. Okay. So we have the Elixir CI and Fly deploy. By the way, I put in my Grok key. So if you want to use some of those like R1s and stuff like that, you can use it through Ash Swarm. Just let me know. Well, and I'll merge it and then we'll get it. So anyway, so this triggers runs, right? So this triggers the CI. It runs all these steps and does a lot of cool stuff. So shout out to Igor for writing that. A better way to look at it is from here. Okay, GitHub workflows, CI. Okay, so you have this on, right? So on push to the main, on pull request to the main. So this on, it can be used as a webhook, right? So what I want to do is push on the branch main, push this event to Fly.io through a webhook. Then the Fly.io broadcasts a message. The other thing I want to be able to do is have our local computers be able to hook into the Fly.io Ash Swarm so that if you, for instance, wanted to do some cool LLM stuff, I have a Grok key, you know, we can really kind of, you know, do some things with that. Then we can access that. And so that's part of the like swarm mentality is I want it to be this like living workbench type PubSub thing that we get to use. So then there's also Fly deploy on push to the main branch. It pushes it to the Fly. So there's that. So what I was working in is in Livebook. So one of the other things I was going to say about Livebook, and I was having a little bit of trouble enunciating this. I think I'll be able to do a better job now. So the difference between Livebook and like IPython notebooks is, for instance, Strutter, you had a link to a file in your directory that was hard-coded. So that meant that anybody that ran the Livebook, it would crash, which is, you know, something to learn.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I realized that. I was gonna add some comments on there to, you know, direct people to change their directories.
No, that's not how it's supposed to work. And this is one of those other things about, and the reason why I put it that way is it's a different way of thinking. The thing about a live book is it should always work, but also it should always be repeatable. Meaning that, in my opinion, it should not, I mean, you can for other purposes, but let's just say from a baseline, right? But we have to, I think that's one of the things for you and also people, because people from like DSPi are going to find this and stuff like that. It's that the baseline for a live book is it should be unchangeable, meaning that every single time I run it, I get the exact same result. You can just ignore this because it's old stuff. But like, for instance, here,
you're not sharing on Discord anymore.
No, I'm sharing on YouTube. I can't do both without killing my bandwidth.
Okay, I'm about to look at it now.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, so for instance here, and by the way, something that I was able to get really cool is this is from the Ash Reactor tests. So there's this bulk create test where it creates a lot of, between 99 and between 99. I don't know why there's 2 99s in there, but there is. But anyway, so if we look at what this test does, it says how many. Look at what this test does. Oh, it says how many. I can hear myself. So I'm gonna. There he goes. Okay. So I'm gonna. There he goes. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how with the thing on. But anyway. Okay. So how many the attributes, the assertion, created post, read, and the amount of created posts should match. So we can delete this cell. All right, so here's the test, or this generic step. This is another one. Oh, where does it run the test? I think actually, here it does. Here, it runs the test. So I'm actually going to move this up here, just real quick, above it. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating the test. It can create all, and then running it. Okay, so it created 216 versus 800. I think that might have been, I don't know why it failed. It worked before, but anyway, it created a whole bunch. Oh, it was running the test twice or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, this is the whole thing. It ran it very quickly. In 0.1 seconds, it created 100 posts, whatever. It wasn't using an LLM, but we're just running the test. So then this was me creating just like a little quick hello world, run. There we go. And what we can do is in the reactor, add my middleware. So I created this debug middleware, middlewares do end. We'll just go grab it from here. Just grab it like this. Let's see if it works. Yeah. So what the middleware does, if it works, okay, perfect. So now we can see it like kind of like highlights what's actually going on, right? The reactor started, we started the step, it has the arguments, it completed successfully, terminated, completed successfully, there we go, right? And so just to look at what the debug middleware is, just kind of like any middleware, but basically here we have on the init, this is what it prints out. So there's this verbose mode, which also shows the context. So actually we'll turn on the verbose mode. Okay, so now you can actually see what the context object of the reactor is. So we got this verbose true, then we have the reactor map, ID, initial state, inputs, middleware. So it has mine in there, but it also comes in with a tracer and a notifications thing, which is pretty interesting, right? And then at the end, in the step, we also have a context. So you can kind of see the context growing and then it ends. Okay. So then we were working on halting and resuming. And so here we're halting, it was halted, and then started, and the reactor was created successfully. I don't know about the paused or whatever, but okay. So here now we're at where we're at today, right? The my app GitHub issue creation step, right? We have the issue created reactor with the middlewares, issue title, body, repo ID, right? So when we create the module, here's the module, and you can see run 3, run 1, 2, 3, just to kind of give you an idea of what you're seeing. Okay, so then we have the module for the creation. And so you see how you have here the run 3, and here you have the entities. So you have 3 inputs and a step. And so when you run here, right, we're running and we run it like this. There you go. So we create the issue. Here are the arguments. It was successful, not implemented. We return the not implemented, right? And so the, let's see if we can see what, I don't know if that gets shown, where that gets shown, but whatever. So that is our simulating the issue created reactor, right? So what we're going to do is one, save this, live dev. So we're going to save this in Ash Swarm, and then we go to Livebooks, and we call this like Reactor Workbench, and persist the outputs. All right, so now we have this. So what's on the agenda now is we're going to copy this. We're going to, so you can just do an export and a copy. Going to go to ChatGPT, create a new session, and basically say, now I want to create a webhook on GitHub for the issue creation, and I want to have a Phoenix context that receives the webhook. Then I need a Ash 3.4 resource and an Ash reactor. So what we'll do is we then show it the what the resource looks like. So what we need is a issue resource. So and actually we can create this with the CLI. So we'll go here. So right now we have the issue reactor.
Also, I have access to Pro Plans, so if you want to do any type of deep research, I can insert those queries for you.
Oh, shit, nice. Congratulations. You get that through work, or you just spotting it yourself?
Oh, no, I've been paying for it myself for the last couple months.
The issue reactor. Right on. Dope. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, I had access to the Pro Plan. I burned out my deep research. I have a ton of deep research to go through. But anyway, so what we have is issue title, body, repo ID. Okay, so let's go create the Ash resource for this. And I don't like doing this off the top of my head. So let's go to ash.gen resource. And so what we do is we grab this, paste it here, and say create, and we'll just call it BitHub, right? Because that's what I was doing here. So Ash Swarm we'll just do BitHub issues.issue, and actually we need to have an issues domain as well. So first, actually, we're going to create the domain. And we'll just give it the whole CLI because it's always interesting to see what it kind of comes up with. Oh, we don't want it to take over all of that. Let's just go back down. And give it that. Domain using a shell script. And so what I'm doing is I want to have it start thinking in a different way. So you see how it got it correct, but also we'd in the future be able to turn this into like a make file or turn it into something else. So we're building up. So then we're going to go back to the resource and give it the source code to resource and say, now add to that script the resource for issue with, and we're going to use the issue. Well, and we'll just do this. Actually, we'll create it. We'll do this. And what we'll say, oh yeah, by the way, this is from the Fly.io. And so this is the Ash Swarm website. I think I showed it, but pretty proud of it. All right. Okay, cool. Issue with that map for attributes. Okay, cool. So here it's creating with the attributes. Then what I want to say is, how would I then create the Phoenix? How would I do the mix phx to create the webhook for issues? What would Chris McCord do? So I think Chris McCord is the creator of the Phoenix library. I'm going to just check that real quick. Chris. Yes.
You're correct.
Perfect. So what would he do? Right? Like, I have no idea what to do. So ask. Okay, perfect. And so it's starting to kind of put together the pieces, because then we'll go to Ash PubSub. And the reason why I'm going and grabbing it this way is, one, it's my brain just kind of thinks of it this way, but it also makes sure that it uses the most recent version. And so this is why, Straughter, the code that your code iterates on, I want it to be where we have our own abstractions, and that's what gets improved. But any connections to existing frameworks or external systems still need to be managed by us, because we need to make sure that it's using the most recent version or the correct version of the library. But there's something that I wanted to, so actually let me tell it this. We're going to go back. Sorry. I just want to get this out of my head. How would we add PubSub to our issue? All right. while it's doing that, oh, there's this code-based context file. I don't know if I showed this to you, this code-based context specification, Strutter, but this is about how to document like the versions and to our issue.
Is Igniter salient to that issue?
While it's doing that, no, Igniter is good about grabbing the most recent versions, but this is for LLMs, for AI tools and stuff like that. It's just a consistent, it's like a good specification for documentation and versioning of libraries, independent of mix or whatever. So this would allow us to do polyglot, where if we have to have Python or JavaScript or something like that. So for instance, Phoenix uses JavaScript for live view. So for instance, we'd be able to, in here, reference what versions we're using as well. So actually, I'd say one of the things that would be really good for one of your AI tools is for it to keep the code-based context up to date. That's one of the big tasks that I'm thinking about having our stuff tackle first, is keeping documentation up to date, because documentation doesn't necessarily have to compile. Now, there is another thing that I was going to. So actually, I'd say one of the things that would be really good for one of your AI tools is
right now
for it to keep the code-based context up to date. That's one of the big tasks. Could you mute my YouTube? Sorry, I think we're going to have to figure out the protocol. But yeah, if you could mute my YouTube when you're talking, because otherwise I'm going to hear me. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this. But yeah, basically, like, I don't like doc false. I don't think there should ever be a time, and this is, of course, though, better when the AI is doing stuff. There should be no reason for doc false. And I like doc tests, which is a whole nother layer, which we'll get into. But that's one of those things where it's like, oh, well, if I was asking humans to do that, that's way too much to do. That's a big pain in the ass. Well, if the AI is doing it.
Yeah, what I was saying was that'll be perfect. Or that's what I was missing. Because right now I'm using Instructor X and I have all of the prompts tailored to Elixir code. And incorporating something like this would, like you said, make it very extensible. Perfect.
I'm glad. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of research on this stuff. Okay. So we got this GitHub issues.issue. We got that going. Okay. Endpoints, PubSub. Okay, listen to events in live view. Okay. So now what we can do is say, how would Zach, Daniel use 3.4 Reactor 3.4 to create. Well, that's a little bit of an indirection. Okay, so I think where we're at now is let's get the point of this GitHub resource and the Phoenix working in our internal app. So what we'll do is we're going to go back to the script. We're not going to actually run the script because I don't want it. I just want to run it manually. But you can see that it got it down. It's pretty good, except for instance, I don't want GraphQL. But for instance, also I don't want to use the actual. Sorry, I don't want to use the Ash JSON API right now. Okay, just a second. I'll be right back.
So Batman, how much Elixir experience do you have?
I have literally none. I was introduced to Elixir.
Literally none. I have literally none.
Echo.
Sorry, guys. We'll get there one day. So this is too much indirection. We're just going to use this. Yeah, we're just going to use this. Okay, so we need the domain module And actually, I'm going to just type this out. It'll be good practice. Okay, crunch this up. Actually, let's just say update the shell script to contain everything we need to have mix generate. Okay, it was not paying attention. So the thing is, it gets kind of dumb on when you have search in there sometimes, or less intelligent. Let's check on YouTube real quick. See, what's up, people on YouTube? We got 2 people in the Discord, 3 people on YouTube. Put anything in the chat if you want me to address anything on YouTube. All right, we're back to this stuff. We don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. Okay, yeah, here we are. This is interesting. So here it's actually now modifying the code. This is pretty cool. This is an emergent property. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to aim for is like just have it update the code itself. Why not? Okay, cool. So we got this going. All right. So now we need to copy this. Go here. Go here. You go PB, paste. GitHub issues H. So let's check to make sure we got that script. Oh yeah, we need to move this stuff into a scripts folder. It'll probably break the scripts, but yeah. I'll move my thing into this. Well, no, I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out later. All right. Okay, so then we do source GitHub. Oh, I'm using fish, so it's sh GitHub. One found. Grep. Okay, so it completely failed on a bunch of stuff, which is fine. So we do this. I think I might have had GitHub in here before as well and deleted it manually, which is not what you're supposed to do. Config. We'll maximize this. GitHub. Bit. Domain. Okay, no, it didn't work. I mean, it wasn't there. So let's just change it. Okay, so instead of GitHub as the app, this one, do not use a script, just show me to change which scripts to there we go. So my script idea didn't work perfectly. That's, I'd say, one of the challenges always with the stuff is I have these ideas where it would work if it would work, but it didn't work. So I'm not going to spend time trying to figure it out. Oh, but it's back at it. It decided, forget that. But actually, oh no, that's the whole thing. Is it actually, wait, do I have issues already? Do I have issues already? All right. Let's try this. Oh yeah, we're typing practice, a little bit of typing practice. All right. Close this one. Okay, mix hash.gen.domain hash swarm dot. Oh yeah, and you can do, okay, I'm gonna cancel this because you can do this as well. And you don't even have to like read through it or whatever, which is, has its pluses and minuses. So actually I'm not gonna do that because I wanna show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so we got that. I'm not going to type all this out. Let's see what it does. All right, cool. So what is it doing? Okay, so it's going into the domain and adding the resource to the domain, which is good. Okay, we got our app, data layer. We're going to have our table, issue title, body, repo ID, public true, all good. Looks great. So hit it with the yes. Okay, now we need to create the Git webhook. Perfect. All right. Oops. Oh yeah, so this is, we're doing Phoenix 1.7. Copy. I think the most recent is 1.7. Let's do a quick check. 1.7. Yeah. Let's check to see if we are using 1.7. Yes. So we gotta, and so this is one of those things where it's like, probably using the right version somewhere, but not what we're doing. Okay. So is it always Phoenix or Phonix? I always Phonix 1.7. And let's throw a search in there so it can figure out the difference. Okay. But I don't want touch the DB as hashes for. Nice. We got 5 people. I think that's a new record for concurrence. So I'm going to do a quick victory lap. All right. Straughter knows what that's about.
There's a separate ash generator you might want to use.
For Phoenix?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, there is one. Let's see. Let's take a look at what it does. All right, code. Let's pop this up full screen. Yeah, 5 concurrents is pretty dope. I'm super happy. A long time ago, I used to work for Riot Games, and the most concurrents I had during one stream during like a 3-hour period was 100 concurrents. I hit 100 one time. So, oh shit, 7. Things are getting pretty wild pretty quickly. I mean, this is the dopest content on the internet, period, the end. So makes sense. So hello to everybody that's lurking in the room. I totally understand, but say hi if you feel like it. Install patch. Yeah, I don't see it in here. Oh, there's the Ash Phoenix project. That's why we don't see it, is because it's not here. Ash Phoenix. Okay. Lib. One of the things that I always say to you guys is get comfortable navigating the source code. Okay. So this is something I remember now. The issue is it creates all of these files. And so I don't want it to create all of these files. It creates like the CRUD for an Ash resource. Close, but not quite. But I'm glad we looked. Now we know. It might tell us to use the Ash Phoenix though. Okay, no, here we go. That's not, okay, update, define the issue, scope. Oh, you know what? This makes sense. Let's just make the controller manually. It shouldn't require anything crazy. And then we can like further refine it once we get it working. All right. So we got Ash Swarm Web resources. So we go to, we'll put this on the side. We got this over here. Let's close this to make it a little bit more manageable. All right. Because the thing is, like, this way we'll learn what does it look like to put an Ash controller in. So issues. So here it's, we'll put it in the controllers folder. So do new file. Wait. No, new file in here, new file. Yeah, there we go. And we're doing issue controller X, copy. Wait, do we want Ash Phoenix controller? No. So we're gonna go back. We do not want to use Ash Phoenix right now. So that's one of the things is like, as I'm looking at this, it's like, no, I don't want to do this manually. But this is one of those things that I tell you guys about why you need to learn how the framework works, is you need to be able to know.
Here, I'm going to share my GitHub code if you want to take a look at it.
For what? Let me get through this and then I'll look at it. Phoenix Gen controller. It's context, isn't it? So it's still. So actually, let's now go look at the Phoenix code for the itch generator. Phoenix gen, it's phx.gen.context. Okay. No schema, table. Okay, so it's looking like, all right. So Strutter just hit us with a lot of files. Gonna have to get to it a little bit later. So let's see if this works. Phoenix mix phx gen.context, and then we want Ash.
So yeah, if you take a look at the GitHub file, I'm using HTTP.
Get to it a little bit later. Yeah, I'm not trying to make. So I'm looking at the code. Yeah, I'm trying to do something different. Let me open up the file real quick just to kind of explain. So I'm not trying to interact with it through HTTP. I want it to call a webhook back into Phoenix.
Yeah, all of those files are my integration files.
I'm trying.
Right. But this is integration going out. I'm talking about coming in. And so I don't want to be interacting with the GitHub, because here's another thing that you'll see when we get to it eventually is I basically want no human interaction with GitHub. I want GitHub to actually be executing any kind of editing within itself, within a container, so that there is no, if possible, REST usage. I know it's weird and probably won't be able to get there, but that's the goal. I want to see how close I can get to that goal. So, I'm just putting you back on in the sign. All right. Jen, so accounts. So if we're using the naming structure, see how it wants to call it GitHub?
Oh, so you want to make it adaptive?
Yes. Like I said, I have my whole, I have this thing I call the Dead Code Manifesto. I'm not sure if I'm going to share it yet because it's kind of dark. I'm thinking about it like a utopian version. But yeah, it's basically the end of humans touching code, basically. I'd say that's the easiest way to describe it. Okay, so let's call it GitHub. Then we call it issue. And then I want to say no schema. Oh yeah, we got to go back to the documentation. So no schema. Okay, you still have to have, okay, so issue, then, and so our properties are, let's go back to here to see them. I think these are all strings, yeah. So issues, so we have, okay, I'm gonna just double check. Kind of GitHub issue, issues, issue title, issue body. Now, prefixing everything with issue, I don't think is a best practice, but we're just going with what is going right now. All right, cool. Perfect. Let's check out what we got. Okay. In web.
Also, later on today, would it be possible for you
Okay,
to
I'm gonna just double check. Kind of GitHub
log
issue,
into a tab
issues,
management
issue title,
system
issue body.
that I have access to?
Yeah. Prefixing everything with issue.
You gotta mute me on the YouTube. Okay. Try it again once you got that. Lib ash swarm. Interesting.
Sorry, I didn't mute last time.
No
What
problem.
I was trying to say was, if we could get like a task system going on, we could kind of outline some of the things that need to be done in the repo, and then we could delineate that to whoever's free and available.
Yeah, for sure. Well, but the one of those points is the AI should be doing that. So that's what I'm trying to get to. GitHub EX. Context, list issues. Yeah, see, so this is not what I want. So even now we're kind of seeing that even this code generation is not what I want at all. So it created just some So context. Oh yeah, that's because that's the thing is, it talks about it. Context is kind of just a bag of functions. Think about it that
So
way.
yeah, there's a new task manager called Dart, and it is fully 100% AI driven. So it actually does handle most of it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Well, so the thing about it is, I don't want to have any external dependencies. The reason why we're doing issues right now. So just to kind of give you a picture of what the end looks like, is right now. I'll go back over it because I don't want you to get lost, but also explaining it helps me out. So what I was showing in the very beginning, and this is for people that just dropped in, I showed that we have a reactor right here that creates issues, right? So that's what Strader was just talking about. He was saying, hey, let's have issues be created so that people can do the issues. And I said, that's the
Right
AI.
now, you can
job.
hook it up to Webhooks.
I'll go back over because it's no. The only external dependency is GitHub. So we use this. So this is basically creating the issue in the step. Now, right now, the step's not implemented. This will probably be ash.reactor, and it implements it a little bit differently. But for right now, this is just a placeholder. So now this reactor run, this is supposed to be run actually in a Phoenix webhook, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start over because I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm going to say, how do I create a webhook using Phoenix 1.7? Right? Let's start at the beginning. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're going. So now what I realize is I said create a webhook using Phoenix 1.7. So for GitHub actions to send all on to a, well, it knows it's going to send it to Phoenix. GitHub webhook using Phoenix for GitHub actions to send all on. And the app is called hash swarm. So now we're being more specific. Okay. So now we're access the raw request body, verify the signature, webhook secret, endpoint. Okay, and it's ngrok. All right. So so actually let's get to this point. So, but let's say can I use curl to simulate, or actually we'll use a HTTP file, which is a pretty cool thing. Can I use a star.htp file to simulate the webhook for different on? So a .http file allows you to use the REST client in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so here, right, we got the different elements, sender. I don't know where I'm getting that. Notifications. Reminding me to live stream, reminding me to walk the dog in an hour. Well, I got an interview with a dude. By the way, if you're looking for the best AI programmer on the planet, come talk to me. Second best, we got Strader in the chat. So, yeah, we got all this. Repository ID name, full name pusher. So the thing is, like, I want to see different different events like issue, create, etc. Yeah. Okay. So here we have an open issue opened, which is good. Yeah. See, we're getting all the payloads. Okay. So the thing is, because I'm using search, it's not being very smart. So I'm going to use O3 high, turn off search, and say I want. So let's just say list all of the on webhooks we could use from GitHub. So let's see. Okay. Strutter is really addicted to his Cloudflare durable objects. All right. So here we got all this stuff. So, because the thing is, think about if we had an AI hooked into each of these things, because this is the way that I want you guys to think. Because you guys are still thinking about capabilities, you're still thinking about features, you're still thinking about issues, all that stuff. The goal is to not think about any of that. The goal is to go from deterministic behavior, we could call it, to behavior that's an emergent property of the system's capability. Meaning that if you combine all kinds of different permutations of these, and the AI could do all of them, you might get some pretty interesting capabilities, right? But to think about all the permutations of these. So I am live streaming and trying to teach my audience about my bigger goal, which is to have large language models able to create emergent features through permutations of these events, period. So let's just say that how many permutations are there of 5 events per matrix? So that's not, no, I'm talking about orders of magnitude. Yeah, scale mathematically and conceptually. So let's see if it's able to. And while it does that, we're going to go back to up here, which we have to, no matter what, implement these. Okay, so webhook, we go to our router, Ashworm web. Let's close a little bit of these things up. All right, Ashworm web, router. Close, close. All right, so we're looking for, I don't know if we have a webhooks scope right now. Webhooks, no. Okay, so let's add a webhooks. We'll add it to the bottom of the scopes. No, actually, we'll add it to the top of the scopes. There we go. And then let's format the document just to make sure. All right, cool. Okay, GitHub webhook controller. So what you do in this case, we can just grab this and you just go down to here and you click new file, enter, puts it in the right place. Got that. Oops, well, that works too. Nope, not that. All right, cool, we got our controller. dot. Okay, now we got our endpoint. So we go to endpoint. We'll do this. Endpoint. And that up. Close that. Plug. Parsers. Okay. Doesn't look like we have any plug parsers. Okay, so we'll add a new one. Grab that. Oh yeah, and let me look at the chat in case anybody's saying anything. All right. Okay, plug parsers. Format document. Okay, Ashworm Red. New file. Cache body reader.ex. All right. Wait, what? No, I grabbed the wrong thing. Oh, we can just do this. All right. Now we go to get webhook controller. Okay, so it's a lot of stuff. Just grab that, paste it. All right. Handle, verify signature, handle specific events, pattern match this header, event, GitHub event, handle push event, pull request, pull event. Oh, okay. So here it's once we verify it. Okay, cool. So we'll be able to simulate these. So in handle connection, signature event. So wait, so this goes, I think it goes into get webhook controller. Verify signature.
Are you planning on pushing that
Handle specific events.
that GitHub code today?
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So here, yeah. So this is what I was talking about. So 200. So when I think of features, you guys are thinking about, hey, wouldn't this one feature be cool, or wouldn't this other feature be cool? And I'm like, yeah, I'd rather have 205 million features at least. Like this is only if you only combine 5 events. So this is kind of how I think. So it's hard to explain to you guys because you guys keep talking to me in your frame of reference, and I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I'm way in different kinds of mathematics from where everybody else is. So I guess this is a good time to like explain the kind of the mathematics of what I'm talking about as a good example. So if you were talking to me about one feature, I'm probably going to say yes, thank you, and not listen to you at all. But if you're saying, hey, Sean, let's go and do 205 million features, that is a conversation that I will have.
So yeah, once you get the core infrastructure and the core patterns down pat.
This is kind of how I think. So it's hard to explain to you guys because you guys keep talking to me in your.
It will open up more capabilities and possibilities. So yes, for sure. Once that GitHub integration is implemented, we can definitely do much more. And once the event system is set up as well.
Exactly. And that's all I'm focused on today is getting. So what the end of the day is by 5 o'clock, I want to have it to where I can, and actually I'm gonna have to stop in 20 minutes. I'll push this branch, but basically by the end of day, by 5 or whenever, I want to be able to, on my computer, use the HTTP file to trigger a create issue that creates it in Ash into the database with an ash.reactor that then sends a notification that another reactor that is a non-ash.reactor, just Joe reactor, then triggers and does something as well. That's the end of the day goal. So that's what we're working towards. So, all right. So I already know I got some red squigglies. We'll have to deal with that later. Or I mean, just as we go further along. But so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it its own controller and just say, I just want to match on the create. Let's make sure I know exactly what it's called. Create the issue opened on the issues.
And yeah, once you push that, I'll be able to iterate
so I already
on
know
that
I got some red squigglies
while you're gone.
To deal with that. Cool. Match on the issues. So yeah, let's just get the HTTP file working, I hope, in 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop talking to everybody. I'm going to mute everybody and work on this and get it done. We got 20 minutes to speed run this. So actually, I'm going to drop out of the voice channel just to make extra sure. You guys can chat in the YouTube comments, but I will talk to you guys after. So basically, 11:30, I'm going to go walk the dog for 30 minutes. I then have the interview with Homeboy. Then I'll probably be back on 12:30 to 1 or so. So, all right. Music. We need music. I've been really enjoying Zombie. Oh, actually, this is a good one. Wait, where's this one?
See things people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire, ships on fire. I watched scenes glittering up 10,000 oh, moments lost in time, like in time. Like tears in rain.
Take a walk with the full moon, no button and zipped up. It's all kicking off soon. Better stay with a crip, bruv. I don't know about your goons. Round there, everything lift up. Whether it's draw, win or lose, none of my friend them give up. Let's do it. Ain't come here to talk it out, let's get into it. Froze up night, froze to death, you should've blew it. Told you you can't with us, you should've knew it. Yeah, we gon' do the most of this. Foot all on me throat, this. Oh, you wanted to ghost of this. Made it out alive on this. Leave another guy now. We was taught to die together. Get pushed down wherever. We gon' ride forever, ride forever. Lolly Dotty, we came to start it. Bring the paper for the pressure, wrap them up like origami, yo. Lolly Dotty, we came to start it. It's pepper if they ever want a problem in this party, yo. 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 Headshot in the middle of the battlefield. Don't mind going out like that. But guess what, man's out here gunning. Black bandana got no white flags. But I'm devilish, I walk with a trident. Criminals move in silence. Champion team full of migrants. Make it fly like pilots. Big boy, you say I remind. Anytime, every time, front line. Yeah, I ain't gonna say not one time. Boy, better not cross that gun line. Head up, it's on, no high five. Face to it, no talking, that's my kind. You handle that, let him drive. When it comes to this stuff, I'm top five. Lolly Dotty, we came to start it. Bring the paper for the pressure, wrap them up like origami, yo. Lolly Dotty, we came to start it. It's pepper if they ever want a problem in this party. Yo. Let's go. Yo. Let's go. Battle of the baddest. Battle of the baddest. Only one of us can leave it.
I'm coming. Fucking slow down, you man. Keep up. Come on, slow down, man. Time you try my rhyme, warning you, trust me, they'll be warning you. Slow down. Time you try my rhyme, warning you, trust me, they'll be warning you. Slow down. Time you try my rhyme, warning you, trust me, they'll be warning you. Slow down. Time you try my rhyme, warning you, trust me, they'll be warning you. I've only got 16 bars, so you better listen up real good. Play this back to your sparks. I was you, I know I would. You see, I keep my float on point for the fun of it. When I'm done with it, I let the next man run with it. Man, what I hate, but we ain't having none of it. If you want to clash, then come with it. You heard me on the back. Think you know me? I'm from Manchester. I can tell you phony. No, you ain't got shit to show me. I'm not your friend and I'm not your homie. I don't make friends because I'm not a friend maker, but I do set trends because I am a trendsetter. And the last this rhyme letter by letter, but I bet you find that it still gets better.
I'm so sick, little, cause MCs don't know about real skill. Think you're big cause you top the bill, but you'd even sound shit if I popped a pill. My lyrics move forward and you'll stay still. Look at the scoreboard, you got nil. Glitch, jack, nothing now. Nothing OJC's about. Fake MC's gonna weed them out without a doubt. Rhymes with an X amount. We can take it an extra bite or one verse of mine. Make sure it's like a nursery rhyme. First rewind is first sit, I can take notes. Ask yourself for more of the fake notes. Cause you are in the know, you're a host. You should have known stats on the show, you the road.
All right. So let's real quick go over what this does. I got to walk that. Actually, we're going to do one more thing because this is what we wanted to do. Can we have it? Can you broadcast the... Okay, so what we got here is the con is there. And then action opened. Yeah. Send resp. On send resp. Okay, yeah. What we want to do real quick, broadcast the, wait, I gotta remember what it's called. The plug con body params. Yeah. To a channel. Body. Endpoint broadcast. There it goes. Okay, channel. Let's just make sure that we have the channel. Okay. I don't have. Okay, we already got that. Controller. Okay. All right, let's see. So this. Okay. Doesn't look like. Let's try this up here. Okay. All right. It doesn't look like it's Kona yet, but I got to walk the dog. I'll see you guys later, but pretty pumped. All right, let's get this in the Git. Let's create a new branch called GitHub Okay. Yeah, perfect. We'll say the status, and we'll say that HTTP webhook connects with what's the name of the we'll just create a pull request just so that people can look at it, but we're going to make it a draft. Create draft pull request. All right. So shout out to anybody that wants to check that out. And I'll be back, guys. Thanks for watching.